episode number 4. Can't believe we are here.
I swear.
Yes, so we are here for episode number 4, and you're watching Together with Me and You.
And today's topic is something which is very simple, sometimes complicated, but it fulfills us, and this is what we seek, I think, in life, which is relationships.
Complicated.
Something you can live and something you can't live without, actually.
Yeah.
And whoever is single and is saying, we don't seek, we don't want it, or something, actually deep down you know what's the truth, right?
Yeah, deep down you do want it. I mean, I get the point of like building relationship with yourself, but also like it's nice to have someone, a companion for life. After a busy day of work, you come back home and you've got someone to gossip with about work life. So I think everyone does, like, they do seek that.
That's true. It's something which will even help you grow as well. It depends. If you're a right partner, then definitely
100%.
What is a healthy relationship for you?
I think for me, healthy relationship would be where there's mutual respect. I feel like love is important, but at the same time there are other factors that you need from your companion. Like love will stay on for like maybe, I don't know, like few years, maybe your entire life, but of course the variation and it changes as you grow.
Correct.
But few things that are really important to me for a healthy relationship would be like respect. Definitely, you need to respect me, I need to respect you, mutual understanding about things, and value system. I feel like I need to have a very similar kind of value system with my partner. Otherwise, when you have to go through such major decisions in your life in future, it's going to be a debate if your values don't match. What about you?
I think that the point that you said was really nice, because the definition of love keeps on changing every year throughout in relationships. Sometimes when you're, if you're young, you would like to have your opinion about things would be different, but when you're old, it's going to be different. So definition of love will also change according to your maturity as well. And you said the same thing. For me as well, it's most important is the value system, because I feel if our values match, half of the life problems would automatically be like easy to solve.
100%.
Because then it'll be like, okay, you have because the way that you perceive a thing as well would be very similar. Like natures can be different, that's fine, it's like opposite attracts. But if you have similar opinion on things, or you could say that if they, like, for example, if I've been brought up to be religious and a partner is not religious, he would never be able to understand where I'm coming from. That if I'm not eating, so I'm non-veg on Tuesdays, he'll be questioning that, and as simple as that, a small thing. So if he's religious and if he's spiritual in the same way that I am, we can just probably not eat non-veg on Tuesdays and go to it. So I think it's very important.
And I also feel like opposite attracts is also a very important part as well. I mean, I know that it's a very subjective thing, right? Like you can decide what kind of a partner you would want. Do you want something who's similar to you in a lot of aspects, or do you want someone who's like opposite to you? I do feel like opposite works. At least, I don't know, maybe from my own experience, I feel like opposite works better, because it then feels like you are like fitting this piece of puzzle in your life that is missing, because you don't have that part, so your partner comes in and fits really well into it. And also the relationship, it's fun. True. Thodi bahut no joke you need, right? Like a bit of argument, a bit of like, I'm upset, come to me, talk to me.
That is our dharam. Right.
Exactly. If they're not opposites, that's never gonna happen. They would just agree in every aspect of their life.
I disagree in everything.
That's
true. I think with opposites attract as well, it is it'll be a right balance as well in terms of things. For example, if someone's very extrovert and other one's introvert, they could just have a nice balance. The person can stay home as well for some time because they're an introvert person, and then they can go out as well because of extrovert. So introvert would have a nice, like they would have a circle as well because of their extroverted partner.
Yeah.
Because then he wants to go or she wants to go out, then they will make an effort to do it.
Yes.
But in this opposite track as well, both the parties have to put in a lot of efforts to make that work.
Yes, 100%.
Because if there's like per se efforts from one thing, like one party, and the other party is not putting much efforts, it's going to be a lot of clashes.
Yeah, 100%. There's going to be a lot of clashes, and also, like, imagine if both the partners are like fussy about things, or if both the partners they like to organize and plan things out, right? And both are like too on point. No one's like a bit like, I'm fine, you look at it, I look at that. Like, it would be so hectic. Really. I can't imagine. I can't imagine myself being in that relationship.
What do you think in terms of, like, if you talk about red flags and green flags, it's literally in. What do you think are, for say, 3 red flags and 3 green flags in a relationship that a person should look for?
I feel like 3 red flags. Oh God. This first one would be like opposite of what I seek in my partner, which is like if they're disrespectful towards you in any way. Doesn't matter, be it in front of people or in private. If they are disrespectful, if you have felt at any point that they don't respect your decisions, they don't respect your values, they don't respect your work, even as minor as that, it's a big no-no, it's a red flag. Today they don't respect your work or maybe your daily life, I don't know what, but like tomorrow it will grow. And it will not sustain, you'd not be happy in that relationship. Second red flag would be someone who is not loyal. And by not loyal, I mean like even in like small things, if they're lying to you, it will like if they can, exactly, it's a sign. Like if they can lie about such a minor thing, which might be so easy for them to just come and just say that I did that and I'm really sorry and just apologize and own it up. They would lie about things in future, like bigger things. I can't imagine them owning up the bigger issues if that ever happens in the life. So I feel like definitely loyalty. Third would be, I mean I don't have to mention that, right? Like extreme cases of like if someone has got anger issues, to stay away. Like and also like I feel like more than that also, I mean anger issue kind of comes as a sub part of like disrespectful if they're disrespectful towards you. And I think another thing would be that if they basically they let you down in any form, like if they don't really understand, or even if they don't want to understand where you're coming from at times, because definitely there would be points in your life when you might not agree with your partner on a different aspects, right? But if they're not open to listening to you, and if it's just about their decision and their opinion, then that relationship is one-sided, and that's a red flag for sure.
Because on this I would like to add is, for example, like I think why they don't listen to you and why they want to do what they want to do, because in that situation they've formed a perception of you now, and that also comes with trust. Now that in that situation they've formed a perception, and now whatever you try to explain to them, that's going to be the perception, because in their head they're like, no, she did that and she did because of this, and they will create their own story. So no matter what you tell them, that's going to happen, and that comes, I think, from trust. Because the person is not trusting you that whatever you're saying is right first, or maybe whatever you did was from good intention and it was nothing like either it was by mistake or there was no bad intention. So in a relationship you have to give a lot of benefit of doubts to your partner.
100%. So what do you think? Sorry, you were saying something.
I was just saying for my red flags, I would say first would be gaslighting. It's a big one. Because it's like I can't understand. Like honestly, at that point in time, you don't even know what's happening to you. 90% of the time, because you are in loop of the thoughts that they have created around you because of the But you can just say something like, it could be on anything, but like I can't think of example on top of my head, but in terms of
like even like that, right? Like when your partner comes and they're like, oh, I did this only because like you had done that. So that led me to like do this to you. Like my actions are a result of your actions.
Exactly.
And yeah, okay.
And it's action reaction game is there, and you are at low and thinking, oh my god, I am so bad. I really this guy.
Been there.
Yeah. And after the relationship is done and dusted, then you realize, what the fuck was I going through? Sorry, just beat it. But it's like, what the hell?
Why did I realize that?
Exactly. And it's not like it happens once. It keeps on happening, and you're in this loop.
Yeah.
So I think as soon as you figure out something's wrong, like this person is doing it to you, first have a chat with them and try to understand. Give your perspective as well. If they don't understand, I don't think so that you should, because it's going to start from very small topics and eventually it could end up in cheating, and then that person's again blaming their cheating on you.
Yeah.
There are a lot of times when I've seen a lot of men cheat and then they're like, oh, the girl doesn't give me enough time, that's why I cheated. I'm like, that's not an explanation.
Yeah.
Just talk to her and tell her that you need
communicate.
Yeah. So that's something which I would like, that's my biggest red flag.
Yeah.
Second would be, like as you said, in communication as well.
Yeah.
If they're not able to communicate good and bad things to me, I think that'll be a problem. Like for example, if they're hiding something from me, wherein, if maybe I've done something to make them feel that way that they can't share, yes, it's my problem. But if they're not doing, they're not sharing. Obviously, there's always a thin line between, like there's some things that you can't share, or maybe you're not at stage of relationship that you want to share as well.
Yeah.
But if the other partner is not making you feel comfortable about sharing it, or if you're not sharing, like you're like, oh, if I tell her, I'm not sure how her reaction is going to be. So at this stage, I think both of them are wrong, because first they should have a conversation about it, and another person should also be a bit more open towards accepting it.
Yeah.
And third, oh god, looking and searching through past relationships you wanted.
Wait, was it? Do you have a diary?
Third one would be, I think disrespect. The person, especially in front of friends and family. Like if the person is very different when they are with their friends and family, like how they're treating you in front of their friend and family, and how they're treating you when you're alone. So that's a big red flag, because just see how they are treated. Like if they're not talking to you properly, or they're showing you a lot of attitude when they are with your friends and family, then you could be like, why is that reaction coming from? When I've seen a lot of people change their personality. It's like, in front of friends they're like all cool, like I don't give a fuck about this girl.
Yeah.
So he's doing a lot.
All good.
I don't care about this girl. I don't, But then when they're with you, like, oh no, I just said that because I just want, I don't want my friends to think that I'm after you or something. It's literally BS. Please grow up. So I think that's my biggest red flags.
I want to know your green flags as well.
Green flags. So for me, again, like I'm very, like I mentioned before as well, example, I'm very religious and spiritual person. So I would like my partner to be on the same level.
Yeah.
Not on the same level, but at least like.
Not an atheist at least.
Yeah. So that's because I feel that when you're God fearing, there's a lot of factors about you, like trust comes into place because you're scared of God. So I feel that when they're doing something wrong, so they have this subconscious mind as to, oh, I should not do this because. So I think a lot of factors just go across with this. Second, I think understanding as well, because we come from Indian society where we need understanding men to support us.
Yes.
So definitely understanding. And third would be just open for change as well. Like open for change, I wouldn't say that it has to change their personality for me, but I think relationship is all about sacrifices and adjustments.
Yeah.
So if they're open to that, I don't want them to change their whole personality for me, but they're like, every person's different. We've been brought up differently as well. So if here and there I'm changing myself for a person whom I love, I don't think so there should be a Yeah.
And plus, it's like it's both ways, right? Like you are meeting them in this middle point, so they also have to come to that middle point.
Sure.
Like one person doesn't need to go to like all the way towards the other person, because like that's how things work. That's even our parents, right? That's how relationships work.
Yeah,
like you have to
true.
meet somewhere in the middle, because you both have so much of like different history. You grew up in different environments. Like you might have like different opinions on things because of whatever history and past experiences that you've had. So you have to like communicate and meet in the middle, and then from there you bring your own path forward and you walk on that.
Sure.
So I think it does work like that. So definitely. Yeah, okay, I know your green flags and red flags. I actually kind of knew it.
Yeah.
I should have guessed it.
I'm not sure you would have guessed it right.
Acha, talking about like, I know you mentioned a little bit about like the space bit as well. Like I wanted to know, what is your opinion about having a personal space in a relationship? You know, your individual kind of time that you have to yourself, even though you are with someone. But do you think that's really important? Like for the relationship as well as for the person who is in a relationship, I guess.
Yeah, I think definitely, because this will help you and relationship both grow as well. Because you are doing your own thing, you are growing yourself, and you're doing something which you like. Your partner would not like that sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But there are certain things, because you've been liking it since childhood, you would love to do it. So it's always not like, it shouldn't be like, oh, I have a partner just doing everything. And then especially when you're losing friends, like you just all the time with your partner, and then you end up losing. Obviously your friend's gonna be there for some time, but if it's repetitive behavior because you're cancelling on them, you know, everybody's busy, you know, these days. Nobody waits for nobody. So it's gonna be like you'll be your friendship is gonna be ending with other people as well.
Yeah.
And then at that time, just in case, if God forbid things go wrong, you're left with no friend, no boyfriend, girlfriend whatsoever.
Nothing. You're all by yourself.
And then if you go back to your friends at that moment, everybody obviously says, oh, उस समय तो we were approaching you and you were busy, and up to obviously then they will show. And I think they're right on their part as well. Because at that time you prioritize your whole life towards that person, and now when he did or she did or that it didn't work out, you're coming back. That's like nobody's second option.
Yeah.
So personal space is important, and then you should have your own things and own sort of own set of friends to do your stuff, and then you should have common friend circle as well, common things that you guys like to do. This way, I think when you're not together 24/7 as well, so not fights as well. You enjoy each other's company, because that's getting in a balanced proportion as well.
100%. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Also because, you know, sometimes also like you could have different interests, because it's not important that you're not twins, right? Exactly. You're different people, so you could have different interests, and sometimes it's fine, you know, that you would want to do things together, even if like I'm not interested in like, you know, maybe playing PlayStation and my boyfriend is, for example. Although I do like playing PlayStation.
Hate it. Sorry guys.
I do like fighting games. But anyways, but like just for an example, if say I don't like it and my partner loves it, so some days I'd be okay. I'd be like, okay, let's do it together, just for him, you know, because I love him out of, you know, I want to do it out of love.
True.
But then some days there could be days when I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it, and I feel like it's so important in that moment for your partner to understand that it's important for your partner to give you the space, you know, in that moment, that okay, if she doesn't want to do it, it's fine. Like maybe she can do her own thing for an hour. I want to read a book, so I read a book for that hour, and he plays his PlayStation, and we both get our, you know, pieces that we do like to do, and then we come back together after that. And watch a movie. Like it should be that easy going. True. And it should be, and I think that's where the personal space comes into picture, and it also gives you time to think about the relationship as well in which you are. Introspect what things are working, what things are not working, and maybe when you come back together, then you communicate about it. So I feel like the space, it's very, very important.
In this aspect, are you a person who takes time after a fight? Or you still don't want to talk?
Nah, I'm the person who is like, let's talk.
I'm like, let's talk. Why is this happening? What is the fight about?
Yeah.
What did I do? What did you do?
But like, I feel like most of the people probably are the other way around. I don't know. They're just like, I know that a lot of people are in that way, that they'd be like, oh, give me space. Like,
I know someone who's that way. Give me space. Don't call me right now, guys. Please, I'll get back to you. In 3 to 4 weeks. I'm like, what is happening? 36 missed calls. Muskan, you gotta take my call. What is happening?
Oh god, I've lost so many friends because of that, honestly.
It's not even a joke anymore.
but it's fine. I feel like if they really understand you, if they really love you, they'll get it. They'll know you'd come around. Yeah, like they know that you'd come around. You're just taking your own time. So I wanted to ask you this: do you reckon that very controversial question, but like, what do you think? How does this idea sound to you? Like making your best friend your boyfriend, is that like a good idea or like a big no-no?
I think it is a very bad idea. See, honestly, it's always personal experience, but I think it's two sides of a coin.
Yeah.
If it's good, I've seen people literally childhood best friends, even got married, living happily ever after, and I've seen someone who had school best friends, fell in love and got extremely toxic, left each other, and now in separate relationships. So it's like, I've seen both sides of it, and I feel yes, if that works for you, good. But I, personally speaking, won't be doing it. Like, I don't think so I'll be able to do that. If you have a best friend, just keep him as a best friend. Because just in case, if God forbid things go wrong, then you're losing both that person together. Because I think behavior changes well. When you're seeing someone as a best friend, their nature, the behavior towards you will be a bit different.
Yeah.
When if someone becomes your boyfriend or girlfriend, their behavior towards could change. But you are loving the best friend part of it. You didn't think that the changes were going to be occurring. So you're not able to accept that. And half our time with like managing that acceptance is difficult. And just in case that that person's gone out of your life, obviously, if things go wrong, because you're so used to calling them for good things and bad things in your life, there will be moments where you realize, oh shit, I can't tell them. I don't even know what's going on in their life. I don't even know what's happening. And at maybe a couple of years before, you would know each and everything in their life, like from what they're doing to what like the life plans and everything. So that would hurt you sometime, because when you look back at things, you'll be like, oh, there were happy times and everything. Why did you take a decision that would so drastically change everything? But contrasting question, do you think friendships are important in relationships?
Interesting. I personally feel yes. It is like, it's an important element that you might require in your relationship.
Yeah.
And I think majorly because it has to be like, friendship makes it easier.
Yeah.
Like, it makes it more easygoing. You become more comfortable in sharing your vulnerabilities with your partner. Otherwise, if you just take it as a relationship, it brings this huge like bar that you set high, right? You feel like this is a huge responsibility. I have to like, this is the bar that I gotta meet. I always have to fulfill their expectations, even if that means like portraying myself as someone who I'm not.
True.
Just to fulfill their needs.
Yeah.
But it's not bad that you do something for your partner, even if you are not that person. But then your partner should at least know that you're not that person. You're doing it for them out of love.
Correct.
Right? And that can only happen if there is that element of friendship. Like, I want to be buddies with my with my boyfriend, or whosoever my partner is. So I think friendship is important, but I do agree that I would never want Like if I've got like an established relationship as a best friend with someone, I would never want to turn that into a relationship. I mean, imagine you go through breakup, you call your best friends to cry and tell them, and then your best friend is your boyfriend, so you go through breakup. So who do you call? No one. You just cry by yourself. That would be so sad.
And it actually makes you more sad because you've lost both individuals.
Exactly. So I would hate that. No.
That's good. Keep designations for one person. You might find. But yeah, I think it just depends. Depends on you and also the person as well.
Yeah, 100%. Do you reckon like sometimes I wonder, that why people, I know that relationships happen. Sometimes I've seen like 10-year relationship, they've been together really happy, and suddenly one day they grow apart or they split.
Sad.
Yeah, it can be very subjective. I know it's very vague, but like I would want to know, like, what do you think really brings this distance between people with time? Sometimes that comes, like, how do people like grow apart even after spending so many years? And I can't imagine like spending 10 years of your life with someone is literally like growing from one phase of your life into another, and then splitting. It's so hard. Like it's such a major decision.
That's true.
Like how does that even happen? Like
I think the main reason is when people stop putting efforts. Like when you just get too comfortable in the relationship and ये तो कहीं जाएगी.
Granted.
Yeah, ये तो हाँ. When you take that for granted and you're not putting any efforts, I think that's when is one of the reasons why I fell in love, because there won't be any excitement, there won't be any. You have to bring on that small elements of your things just to make other person feel special, and just to make them feel that yes, that you do love them and you're there. Like we know, but we want to feel as well. Our brain is like that. We like surprises, especially I think girls as well. We need that assurance, and we don't need assurance in how you're saying it. We need assurance by our actions. Because action speaks louder than words. So yes, I definitely feel that once you stop putting efforts into something, like even with plants, they die when you don't water them. So relationship is just the same.
Yeah.
So if you are doing your best in terms of and also communication as well. When you just get too busy in your own lives and you're not coming together and having a chat as well, and I think that as well, because other person doesn't even know what's going on. And half the time they're clueless about what's happening. So that could again have a barrier, and which could lead to like trust issues and whatnot. So it's like whole loop. Why do you think? Why do they grow out of love?
I think I think first and foremost is communication, right? Like I feel communication is the key to any relationship, be it a partner, be it your family, be it anyone, be it your friends. So I think when they stop communicating, that's a huge issue, because then there's no way you can meet in the middle. You'd be in your own separate ways. You'd never know where the other person is, and even like the interest to like find out, a person after spending 10 years, you always know like that if something's wrong, if something's not right with your partner, you can feel it, the growing apart. So I think at that very moment when you have figured that out, like putting in the effort, what you were talking about, and just like asking and communicating, like what is happening, have I done something, can we talk about it, can we solve it? I think all these things, even the fact, I feel like even if your partner is going out, say tomorrow they go out, change always feels good. Right? You've spent 10 years of your life with someone, you become too comfortable with them. You go out, you meet someone new, and that feeling of like butterflies and like newness, and it brings that excitement and joy, and change feels like the new thing feels good, and the old thing suddenly starts feeling like boring. He doesn't do like that, he doesn't anymore do this or that. But I think in that moment, even if you are getting to that stage where you see someone, you're like, oh, they're so attractive, and you're liking talking with them, it's important that when you go back, you sit with your partner and you tell them that today this happened, and I met this person and I felt so alive and I felt so good. And it came to my mind that I feel like we don't feel that anymore with each other, and it made me feel we should talk. And I think if you take that one step, it can stop like from you to growing apart even further. But like if you that night, if you go out and if you are like, oh, this is great, and you come back and like, this is boring, that's the point where you split, basically, in your way. So definitely communication and efforts, I think, totally on board with that.
Also, would you ever, or do you think it's good to be friends with your ex?
I don't know if my ex is gonna watch this or not, but no.
इसको तो मैं ही नहीं रहने दूंगी. I like ये तो नहीं हो पाएगा. Sorry.
Zip.
Yeah.
Nah, never. I think my ex would always be in the block list.
He should be. This is where he deserves. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd never ever want to be friends with my ex.
Yeah.
That's
true. Life is too hard.
It's too hard to take this.
I'm not take this shit now.
Going through too much a lot.
That's true. But in a, like, because now, see, now in like modern dating era, and people are like right swipe, they're literally disposable. You can just sit on your toilet seat and just swipe people and judge them on 3 photos.
Favorite pastime, right?
Never been on that.
Me too. I mean for people.
Yeah. Very sanskari ladkiyan hain. So
we love meeting people organically.
Yes, face to face.
Yes, face to face.
ताकि कोई fish ना कर रहा हो, कोई कुछ ना कर रहा हो.
You know, destiny should make it happen, so that we have this nice, cute little love story to tell people.
You just watch too many Karan Johar
movies.
Nothing's gonna, no wind is gonna blow.
Sad.
No violence gonna be there.
At least I don't want to meet a person dating. I mean, I've met my person, so it's
you've already done. So that's. But would you ever consider, like now, so you're like, would you ever consider, or what do you think? Like, because I feel that now relationships have become like people have stopped trying because they know that's got so many options. So they're like, isse nahi chala, it's fine. I'll just move on to. Like even when they're on a date with someone, they're thinking about, oh, I've got like 5 other messages. So it's fine. Just let me just
see how this
or
goes.
maybe have a situationship and then see. So what about you? Like, what do you think? I've already said too much, so maybe I'll just shut up and just.
So what do I think about this whole new dating app world, you mean?
Yeah, like it's not new now, but
I mean,
new to us maybe.
Yeah, I would say. I feel like I understand why there's a need for that.
Yeah.
It's hard to find, your partner. Not everyone's that lucky to find someone, organically. Destiny makes it happen.
Sure.
It's not a fairy tale always, so I get it. People are seeking companionship, so they are seeking love. But I do think that sometimes being on dating apps can actually, I don't know, like it can actually, how do I say this? Like it kills the whole idea of like, that first meeting, that first butterflies, or like first time you meet someone and you feel attracted towards them and you want to put in efforts because you're like, what if this is the person? But I think the dating app has kind of I'm not getting the word, what's that word, like it has
Complicated, or
it has made the whole idea of love a little more artificial. I would say like it has become more artificial. It has become more like as if I'm going for shopping my clothes, and not like actually seeking a partner. So I do feel, and also it can actually, it has made the whole idea a disguise. People can just be like whosoever behind the camera, and you wouldn't know until you actually meet them in person. And it's so hard to judge, like, and it's so much of time and effort that you're putting in there to get your life partner. And what if, like, behind the camera it's someone else? Like, I don't know, I can't trust it. So I think my major issue is like, I don't even know if I should trust this person enough to meet them.
True.
Right? And then you've talked to like 5 people and deciding which one's more trustworthy and whom should I meet first. So I do feel like, and also it has also killed the whole idea of like, even the hope of meeting someone organically.
True.
Because people feel there's no need. I've got a dating app, I'll just find someone there,
It's easier because it's on the phone, so you're just doing it, you're
hidden.
So, but I also feel in this situation it's very difficult because some people would be seeking out relationship, while some would be seeking out situationship. Well, some will be
just made more complicated the entire world of love, which was just as simple as, you know, loving someone selflessly without like huge expectations. You love them. Like, I don't know, like I just feel like it's a bit artificial, to be honest. But I know people who have found actually their life partners via dating apps. So there is a pro side to it. Like, you can get lucky on there as well. You could find someone, if not organically.
I think if you go with good intentions and then you begin choosing who you're talking to, who you're spending time with, I think maybe.
I also feel sometimes people lie. Like, I have heard stories about people lying about their age, people lying about, like, you know, that they're seeking a long-term relationship, and then they would meet you and they'd be like, oh, do you want to hook up?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I thought you were seeking long-term relationship. And then they're like, oh, we are, but we'll see how this goes.
Correct.
What do you mean? Like, you want to hook up and then you want to see how this goes? Doesn't make any sense. So I think that's the case, right? Like, I feel in person when you meet someone, you can judge them better. Like, you can sense the vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, dating app is a bit like artificial to me at least. But like, I'm not against it. Like, I feel like it's a good portal.
Yeah.
It's literally like, in India we had matrimonial.com. Now these are dating apps where you could find a long-term partner for yourself by yourself. So it's an arranged marriage for yourself, literally.
But yeah, I think people just should use it very carefully.
100%.
And be very like conscious about what you're sharing. Like, even the information that you share as well.
Yeah.
You should like literally think twice before.
Dude, there has been story of like one of my friends, I wouldn't of course name, but she met someone via dating app, and it became like the most scary night of her life, like the worst nightmare.
What happened?
Like, the thing is that she is not my close friend. Okay. She's my friend's friend, and I got to know this story. She met someone via dating app. Won't name the dating app as well. And the guy was like, oh, do you want to meet? Like, come to my house.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, okay, cool.
See?
Yeah, she's been seeking. It's been a while. So I don't know now actually if she got someone, hopefully. But she went to his house, and it ended up being she went to his house, they were planning to hook up, and then they did hook up, and later on she got to know that guy had a sex disease.
What?
Yes, STD. And and it became a huge thing.
Oh my god.
But she couldn't
The guy didn't never mention nothing, and
probably, I don't know, I feel like the guy wasn't aware himself as well. He got to know, and then he did inform her that these are my reports and this is what I got. So at least he was honest on that part. But like this thing, right, you know, it's just scary. I don't know, I feel like you can't trust someone in the first go, especially when you're meeting them via a dating app.
Yeah, you don't know their backstory,
you don't know their intentions. Anything could have happened, and you never know, like, what if the guy already had it? I don't know, sometimes this question comes to my mind. What if he's just lying about it now?
True.
That he just didn't want to disclose at that point, so now he's making up. Yeah, I don't know, it's scary. But she's okay now. Yeah, she's okay.
So I went to my friend's birthday party, and we were having a conversation. It was just all girls, and there was a girl who said that, you know, like, to one of my close friends, that I think, you know what? I feel that you are way too attracted towards your boyfriend. I think he's way less attractive, because, you know, you have to have that energy where, like, he should be after you rather than you being after him. And then she was like, I don't think so, you know, you should have that black cat energy and stuff like that.
Black cat?
Yeah.
What is
and you should not be a golden retriever. I was like,
whoa, what, girl?
I jumped into the conversation. I was like, I could not stand my friend, because she doesn't know how to take stand for herself. So I was like, let me come.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, I literally told her, I was like, good for you if you think like that. I mean, in this today's age, if you think like that, so God bless you.
Yeah.
But I feel that when the partner is right, when you know, when you have the feeling that this is the one, you would never be able to do it. Like even if you want to, your heart will be like, nah, I don't want him to feel bad about it. Or him. You would never be able to do it. It's like maybe you've not met someone that make you feel like that. Because I don't know how you're saying this and how if you she had a boyfriend. She's like, I treat her.
Feeling sorry for the guy.
Exactly, I felt the same. I'm like, bless him. You know, I don't know why he's
bless him.
Yeah. But I felt like in today's age as well, people are having this sort of like opinion where you should be more. I mean, you should be more. You should not make other person feel that they are like you are in love with them. You should always make them feel like they love you.
They love you more than you love
that. What do you think like about this?
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's not a chasing competition. It's not a game. It's not like we are competing against each other. We are together in this. So it's not like he should chase me more. I should chase him more. Everything has to be balanced, right? Some days I would want the attention and he'd understand and he'd give me the attention. Some days I'd understand that he needs my attention, so I'd give him. So rather than making it a chasing game, he chases me, I don't chase him. Like I don't get this.
We're not like little teenagers. I don't think so. I have the energy to do it as well. I can't. I better put this energy into something I love actually.
I mean, definitely if one partner feels. And in that case, actually, in such cases, what would happen? The person who is chasing one day would get tired of chasing.
True.
And they would be like, this is it. I can't. Like, what is happening? Why am I chasing so much? You're not putting in as much effort as I am putting. And they would grow apart.
Yeah.
So I think that's not how it should work.
Yeah. Because he's eventually the right person.
Yeah.
And you're just throwing him away because of your tantrums.
Exactly. Like, why would you want to make them go through? And that feeling is so bad. Like, the feeling of I'm putting in so much effort.
Yeah.
And why is she not or he not putting in equal efforts? That feeling. And initial phase of that feeling, because I've been there. Initial phase of that feeling, it makes you question yourself.
Yeah.
You're just like, am I not doing enough? Is something wrong with me? Am I, what am I doing that's not grabbing my partner's attention? Or am I not good enough for them? And you start questioning and you go through that phase of questioning yourself. And it's such a bad phase because you put yourself down so much. And then you keep on trying to do things that you think would, get their attention towards you. And for that you get desperate.
Yeah.
And then there comes a point where you're tired. You're like, I can't do this.
Sure.
And then one day you actually open your eyes and you're like, this is wrong. Like, this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, I'm glad that you gave her a good lesson.
Yeah, I was like, take my 2 cents, please. I think you really need it. I'm sure her opinions are going to change, but it's okay. I don't want to fix the world. Alright. God bless his boy, and that's it. Is there any red flags? I know this question, but let me just ask you this. I want to know how your perspective has changed towards it now. So, have you ever ignored the red flags in your relationship in the past? And because I feel a lot of people go through that, but they are not able to put fingers onto it as to what and how and why.
Yeah.
Because now, if we're talking about it, we should talk about this as well. I think this should be our final segment. Deep talk, so. But too deep. Yeah, so tell me about it. I'm very keen to know what you learned from it though.
So first question is, have I ignored?
Yeah.
Right? Yes. That's why my ex is my ex, because one day I stopped ignoring. Yeah. So I definitely ignored a lot of red flags. Actually, at that point, I didn't even know that these are red flags. And one day, my sweet brain and my mom told me these are red flags. Girl, what are you doing?
Good, your mom was there. So.
Yeah, my mom is my best friend.
Yeah.
So she knows everything about my life. She was the one actually who got me out of my past relationship. and she was like, you are with like a red flag. You gotta come out of this.
Walking,
please.
running red flag.
Yeah, so definitely I've ignored, and I think everyone goes through that phase. वो वाली बात है, until and unless you fall into a pit, you wouldn't understand, right? तो वो ये ना, बंदा गिरेगा, खड़े होएगा, फिर खुद समझेगा, तो ही सीखेगा. 50,000 चीजें हो जाए उसके आसपास. Like a lot of people had come to me, told me that things are happening behind your back. Are you sure? Like, but I was like not ready to listen. What was the next question?
What did you learn from it?
Don't ignore the red flags. Learn the red flags. Like, ingrain it. Put it in your brain, in your heart. So the next time, I think that it's very important that red flags come into your life, so that when the green flag comes, you know this is it. You know, you know what you don't want. So if you know what you don't want, then you eventually land up with someone whom you want, right? So I feel like whatever you are, every past relationship in your life has taught you something.
Sure.
Carry those learnings with you. Don't forget them. Like the respect. First, the thing that I told you that would be one of my green flags came out of this, because I was disrespected in public many times, and that taught me, how I was like, if I'm letting, and I was more wrong in that, because when you let someone do that to you, you are letting them, you're giving them that authority, that much of power to like impact you in such a way, and giving them the right to treat you this way. Like, you should be able to say, no, this is not how I'm going to be treated. So stop it or leave. That's it.
I think we are very vulnerable at that time. In a relationship, we give all in, and so at that time we're like, nah, I don't just want this thing, one little thing, I don't want to like ruin the whole thing. He's so good at other things, he's doing this for me, he's doing that for me, but the biggest thing that he maybe should not be doing, he's doing that. And we're ignoring that.
And I feel like no one can make you see that until one day you yourself realize this is way too wrong, and I'm going towards the wrong path. I need to stop this. And the moment when you have realized that and you've come out of it, after that, never forget. That's very important. If in your second relationship also you're forgetting and you're being like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, it's not fine, it's not okay. Be okay to say it's not okay when it's not okay, right? So now you've learned from your past mistakes, so carry that forward, so that in your second relationship, or the person whom you actually land up with, you communicate with them where you're coming from, why this is not okay. I have been through this, I have not felt good, and this is not okay. If your partner doesn't know that it's not okay, probably sometimes it happens that something triggers you, right? And like because of your past relationship, you have had this bad experience, that's a word, or maybe something else, just something triggers you, and your partner does that. Now sometimes your partner is a green flag, right? But he just doesn't know that thing triggers you, because it's not a huge deal for him.
True.
So in that moment, it's your responsibility to tell them, to be like, okay, don't say this. This triggers me. This is probably the reason. Even if you have not figured out the reason, tell them. So that next time they'd be cautious. And if next time they do that again, then that's a red flag.